starting the vlog. I literally have 0 excuses left. Or it was, oh, I'm busy with school. Just graduated. Can't say I'm busy with school. Oh, I'm busy with work. Just moved home. Not working. Because of that, I have a lot of free time. So I've decided with that free time that I'm actually going to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable this prep. I've got the next 9 weeks. I want to make sure that I'm doing everything by the book to the T, counting macros, making sure that I'm getting my cardio in after lifts. I can't believe that actually came out of my mouth. This vlog and these videos are going to be part of the reason that I'm able to hold myself accountable, because it gives me visual proof that I'm doing what I'm supposed to. So, as I said, I'm just moved home. I don't have training partners. I know EP Barbell, y'all are real. They've always welcomed me with open arms, always said that I can always train with them and the team whenever I want. The only problem is that I live on one side of town and everybody works out on the opposite side of town. And I'm not going to sit in my car for 30 minutes before a workout just to work out with my buddies. As much as I love you guys, that's just not feasible for me, gas-wise, time-wise, anything like that. So I'm lifting by myself at a gym here on the west side called Backstreet Gym. If you ever want to check it out, I think it's like $20 for a day pass, which I know is super expensive, but it's a really good gym. Before I moved back home, I was working at Bodyworks in Lubbock, Texas. And before that, I was lifting at a gym called Lone Star Strength. I'll go ahead and put their info right here. In fact, we all just became like a really big, close-knit family. When I moved home, I realized that the people who typically would hold me accountable, whether it was form or diet or making sure that I actually made it to the gym, making sure that I was giving my 110%, they weren't going to be there to hold me accountable in person anymore. Excuse me. He would make sure that he's holding me accountable. So for this prep, I've decided to run TSA 9-week intermediate program. This will be my second time running it. The first time I ran it was back before my USAPL meet in September. I added about 50 pounds to my total and I went down a weight class. I competed at 138 pounds as opposed to my usual 148 pounds. So the week before I was totally miserable. I water loaded 15 pounds. It was awful, to say the least. A 2-hour weigh-in, awful. The 15-pound weight cut, awful. But I hit the goals that I wanted to hit. I took 2 Texas state records. I really don't have room to complain about my performance. So because of that, I decided that I would just stick to this program and run it again, see how it goes for me now that I don't have to drop a whole 15 pounds. Right now, I only have to drop, as of this morning, 8 pounds. And I still plan on doing a water load the week before. I know a lot of people are going to say, why is it that you're going to do a water load when you can easily lose the weight within the next 9 weeks? Which is true. But the reason that I plan on doing a water load is because it's part of the routine that I've created. That's how I mentally prepare myself for the meet. And I'm going to continue doing that because it's obviously worked for me. Now we can talk about the importance of this meet. I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for myself almost a year later. I'm not going to sit here and explain all the reasons that I bombed and try to make myself feel like it wasn't my fault, because at the end of the day, it was. I learned a lot about myself as a lifter, about the goals that I have set for myself, and I realized that at the end of the day, like, sometimes you have to worry about number one and stop worrying about all the people around you. That meet was the kick in the ass that I needed. Like, hey, you are competing for you. You are not competing for anybody else. You need to stop worrying about the people around you and start worrying about what numbers it is that you can do. At the end of the day, it's not about chasing records. Shouldn't matter if it's a 1 pound PR or a 2 pound PR. As long as you are trying to be better, mentally, physically, emotionally, better than the person you were the day before, then you should have no reason to feel bad about your performance. And show what it is that you can do on the platform rather than making all of these grand expectations for yourself beforehand and then not being able to follow through. It's more so about being better today than you were yesterday. I don't think I have anything else to say right now. But peep my Abraham Lincoln shirt though. And yeah, he is smoking a joint, so I don't know if that's YouTube appropriate or not, but I guess. We're on week 1, day 2. We've got 4 sets of 5 on bench press at 73% and 3 sets of 4 at 77% for deadlifts. My biggest weakness on bench is definitely going to be the fact that I don't feel comfortable under the bar. So whenever I do bench, I have to tell myself to go ahead and slow down rather than rushing through the lift so that each rep is equally consistent as the rep beforehand. With deadlifts, a problem that I've run into multiple times is the fact that when I do get down on the bar, I don't remind myself to go ahead and bring my shoulders back. As you can see, my shoulders kind of roll forward a little bit right there. I tried to fix it, but once we get heavier with the weight and we throw that belt on, for some reason my shoulders tend to roll forward over the bar a little bit. This 9 weeks I do plan on trying to fix that and reminding myself to bring those shoulders back. I pull the bar into myself before I pull it off of the ground.
I'll take you for a drive.
So I know I am missing day 1 of week 1 for the TSA Intermediate 9-week program. Right now I'm going to show you day 3. It's squats 3 sets of 7 at 69%, followed by 2 sets of 8 on overhead press at a RPE of 7.5.
They can give you peace, but they can set you free. No. See, all I got is
I'm going to go ahead and add day 4 of the program onto episode 2 of season 1 as opposed to this episode. And that's it for this first week of TSA Intermediate.
here, only be here for you.
I can't be here before you. I can only be here.
Only be